with that, let's go to the poll because we wanted to get sort of a take on where people go. When I help people with this, whether it's, helping with pragmatic marketing or other ways of doing it, I always often say, I look at market problems, needs and wants, jobs to be done as interchangeable parts. But I wanted to put it out to the question, to put it out here. And obviously market problems came in number one. I have to think that there's a strong pragmatic marketing school of Steve flavor there, under and unmet needs and wants. And I will say, Rob, I was probably leaning towards market problems until I read your, and that's actually why I added wants to the to the question there. And then we had jobs to be done. I'd like to know, Rob, where did you go on this one?
I went jobs to be done.
Okay. I thought you might. I know you're a very strong jobs to be done person, but the needs and wants, I wanted to see where you would go with that.
Yeah, I tend to start everything in a JTBD mindset. Again, my company that I sold, was 85-90% of what we did was workflow research. So I tend to focus everything there. I think if you start there, especially in the B2B world, if you start there, you can really never go wrong.
So I did not have enough potential answers. They only allow you to give 4 plus other. I wanted to have, I thought of breaking out jobs to be done activity versus jobs to be done, the strategy way versus jobs to be done outcomes.
That's why you have to read that. That's why you have to read your, I see you put my favorite new book on here, When Coffee and Kale Compete.
Yeah.
That's why you have to read When Coffee and Kale Compete.
Because it's an outcomes thing.
Because and JTBD is so different. I'm one of the case studies in Strategy on some work that I was doing at Hussman on LED lights at the time. And so the strategy and approach is a lot different than the way we do JTBD in the rest of the world.
Well,
not that it's bad. It gets to an answer, but there are differences.
So if you go back to Drucker, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, he actually, if I go back time-wise, the first time I think anybody used the term jobs to be done, because he's talking about the different places you can look for innovation. One of them was in a process, right? And what he says is you need to understand the job to be done within that process to find the innovation opportunity. So to me, it seems like strategy may be a little more lined up with that. He wasn't really talking outcomes at the time. Jason, if you're willing to share, how did you vote? And I'm talking about this poll.
Oh yeah, market problems. Just for trying to get, they're all very good, but it's kind of how I've been looking at things, is looking at market problems for trying to get kind of pervasive approach to sell more products actually. So looking at who has the most problems, and in spite of kind of unmet needs, in the products that I've been working on, they're pretty much commoditized. So a lot of needs have been met. So then it's about innovation of doing things just better, faster, quicker, easier, and those kind of things. So it's tricky to claim those as unmet. Mm-hmm. So I look at specific problems and try to go through that matrix of market segmentation of the market and try to hit as many areas as possible to help prioritize what we're trying to do with limited resources, So that's kind of how we've been approaching it.
Yeah. John, did you vote?
I did. I was with you on under unmet needs and wants. But I have some of the things you guys were talking about a minute ago made me spin off in a bunch of different directions around what a product is and whether you're willing to pay for it. And then which part of the Google search is the product? Is it the ads because people are willing to pay for that? Or is it the need I have of finding, or want I have of finding information? I don't know. It's a whole thing.
I would say yes, they both are. They're different, I'm giving, my take on that would be, as the persona user using the search, I'm paying with my data, right?
Yeah, you are the product
in my eyes to solve my problem. I need to find something. And then Google monetizes that by then giving people access to me based on my data profile and the words I'm searching for, they sell that. So to me, it's like actually both sides, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting
And
because I remember sitting at a content industry information industry summit, SAAI, way back in like 2004 or something like that, and they had a executive from one of the cable companies, and he basically said, you know, you need to be able to make money two ways, always. If you can find two different streams of revenue. And so as the cable companies, like, we charge people for access and then we charge advertisers for access. And so to me, the Google model is not that much different. They're just not putting a price on the search access. So just my 2 cents there. Tom, did you vote? And if you did, what did you vote for? Or if you didn't, which would you?
Voted for market problems.
Is that, did you take pragmatic marketing?
Yeah.
At Fiserv? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd say the main reason I went away from market problems, because there were times where I was coaching people or helping people with it, and they're like, but that's not a problem. It's more of a need. And it was the semantic of the word problem with the negative, implication of problem. And I think, to me, that was one of the main reasons I've gone away from it.